Hey everyone, and welcome back to my completionist playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with SCS. And you know what, we're not going to be done with the Bridge District just yet, because I think this Cutpurse fellow over here should be around at this hour, and of course we cannot leave him with his inventory intact. And also in this episode I think we're going to progress the main storyline a little bit and do some missions for Aran Linvail, one of which is going to bring us back to this district once again. So, let's talk to him. Buddy, we need some of your stuff without necessarily paying for it, you know what I mean? So let's take these 4 potions of Master Thievery, and we're going to further enable our stealing urges. I'm even going to take this potion of regen and this potion of power. Also, his Wand of Fire is very unique because it only has 1 fireball charge and 50 again as our Scorcher charges. I'm going to show that in a second. So it's kind of like a Scorcher wand, you might say. But anyway, of course, the most important thing about him are his scrolls, especially protection from magical weapons and improved haste. Oh yeah! And speaking of improved haste, I am actually going to hold off on casting it until later in the playthrough. We're not going to start memorizing improved haste like as soon as we have access to level 6 spells, because it's just such a powerful spell. I'm going to wait a while before I allow myself to use it. Anyway, Edwin can demonstrate the wand, just 1 fireball charge and 50 Scorcher charges. But unfortunately for this fellow, we are not done with him yet. We are going to just take some scrolls to expand our spell selection, especially on Edwin. And I am going to take multiple copies of Spell Thrust and Secret Word, because those are just very useful anti-magic spells that are handy to have in scroll form, and I think Edwin doesn't have either. Also, I think Senashira misses Fire Shield Red. I think she only has Fire Shield Blue, if I remember correctly. Also Minor Sequencer, yes please. And I think I'm just going to put all these scrolls in this scroll case, and I'm going to sort that later. I think we're just going to start one episode with a scribing session, where in between the recordings I'm already going to like sort my spells and prepare everything, not to waste time. And finally we can get some spell immunity, and from these specific immunities I am going to take Necromancy, I am going to take Enchantment, Abjuration, and maybe even Evocation. Those are basically the most prominent spell schools that are going to be used on us. And you're going to see me use spell immunity against Abjuration and Enchantment a lot on Senashira. And Necromancy is also useful in a couple of places. Actually, another ambush. So just try to kill the mage. Now we have some serious damage, so we might be able to like kill a couple of them before they despawn. Alright. But anyway, I was saying that spell immunity to Necromancy comes in handy in some situations, and especially in one particular SCS fight, and that is very useful. And Evocation, you know, might come in handy as well, since it's going to protect us from some damaged spells. But anyway, now we're going to go to the docks and do that mission for Aran Linvail, which was all about aiding a shadow thief by the name of Mook in guarding some weapon shipments here in the docks. And actually, I think this encounter between the shadow thieves and the vampires, the second one, actually triggers closer to midnight, so I think we can teleport here and step into the Harper Hold for a moment, because I want to buff up a little bit with arcane spells. Also, Kiranai can get her stuff back, her weapons. So yeah, a vampire encounter is coming up, and we only have 1 person permanently immune to their level drain, which is Senashira, thanks to her amulet. Oh, well, actually, Corgan, what's your status? You have 2 rages left, which is actually exactly what we need before our rest. So I think I'm going to do it with Senashira and Corgan. Corgan is going to use his Berserker Rage to be immune to level drain and domination. And Senashira is protected against level drain, and in order to protect her against domination, we're going to have to do something different, because chaotic commands we've already used and we don't have any more, and we don't have any potions or gear that would make us immune. But I think we just got, and we also have like multiple copies, I think, of scrolls of this minor spell deflection spell, and that is going to do. Because just to talk a little bit about this spell, this is an absorption spell that absorbs some single target spells targeted at the caster, and as you can see, it affects a total of 4 spell levels, and it affects up to spells of level 7. Now what all of that means is that the 4 spell levels that are going to be consumed, I guess, means that it can, just to give you an example, consume like 4 level 1 spells, or 2 level 2 spells, or maybe a level 3 spell and something else, because as long as there is at least 1 spell level like absorption left on this spell, it can still consume like even a level 7 spell. You know, that would be a waste from our opponents to do such a thing, but yeah, that's how it works. And of course spell levels 8 and 9 are going to just bypass this spell. But anyway, this is going to protect us from domination, and I think the vampire is not even going to cast domination on us, seeing that we have this protection up. And also I am going to maybe even drink a little potion of heroism to increase Senashira's Thaco. But also, even before that, I am going to release my familiar and just make all of us invisible, because in that fight I can't just leave like vulnerable party members somewhere away, because through a kind of a cutscene we're going to get teleported into a dead end, into a kind of a corner, with all of our party members, you know, otherwise exposed. So I'm just going to make them invisible so that the vampire doesn't target them. I'm going to improve Senashira's Thaco a little bit, and now we're going to use this scroll so that she can be protected from domination. And now we can go and do that quest. So Mook is going to be here, and after we talk to her, an event is going to happen, pretty much. Alright. So we can socialize a little bit, I guess, and she's heard of us and about our heroic deeds. But anyway, what about this situation? Apparently she's spotted the same man pass by 4 times. He looked a bit different each time, but I knew it was the man. Anyway, she suspects that, you know, he's going to come by soon, so we're just going to wait and guard this shipment. And yeah, through this cutscene here, as you can see, our whole party is ported into this like corner here. And here comes LaSalle. Yeah, here he comes again. He looks different at night, kind of creepy. Well, that's because he's a vampire, as we'll soon find out. And apparently he knows her. He's been watching her. And of course, as always, feel free to pause and read for yourself all of the dialogue. But anyway, he apparently wants her to leave her life here and join the other guild as a vampire, presumably. Yeah, to me, Senashira, treachery is afoot, and unfortunately we cannot do anything, and she dies in this cutscene. Right, so we're going to have Senashira here, and I think I'm going to bring Corgan behind LaSalle, so that on Cloud of Bats on Senashira. It's kind of like an insect spell that SCS gives vampires. They have quite a few different abilities, and hopefully maybe we can even block this passage. It's like narrower than it seems. But I don't want LaSalle to like shapeshift into something and like escape up the stairs and just be problematic. So we're going to do the rage on Corgan, and now we can just take care of LaSalle. Okay, he shapeshifted into a bat. I hate this form, but yeah, now he's, you know, been defeated, and he's going to escape. We're going to meet him later.
Speaking of my father has left me plenty of time to think. Perhaps too much. It is as if an ill wind has blown across my soul.
So another talk with Anomen. He's going to expand on his troubles, I guess, in the family with his father, and tell us a story about how his father ruined his ceremony when he became a squire. And actually, even before that, his father refused to be his patron, so he had no money for like knight equipment. But a knight by the name of Sir Blethin took pity on him and had him squired. Yeah, I was proud during the ceremony and happy, but it was not to last. because his father appeared drunk and full of rage at the ceremony and had to be like taken out of there. Yeah, leave it to Lord Kor to stain the one moment of pure pleasure I was able to steal during my time in the Order. The one thing I had achieved despite all of his opposition. So yeah, pretty troublesome memory. Alright, and we can loot Mook, but she doesn't really have anything. And now we can report about what happened to Aran Linvail. And we can just teleport to this entrance here, which is going to bring us into that underground passage. Well, what do we have to report?
What have you to report?
Yeah, so we get some personalized experience here. That's unfortunate what happened to Mook. But yeah, this rival guild knows our actions well, likely due to the traitors that joined them. We must stop any more from leaving us. So now he's going to give us a mission to stop 2 of the Shadow Thief guild members that are on the brink of joining the other guild, Jalos and Kahan. And they are going to be in the 5 Flagons Inn, so we're going to be back in the Bridge District again. Yeah, so some comments from our party. And actually, Kira and I leveled up. And, oh, she's going to be level 12 now. And she's going to get 1 more proficiency point, so getting closer to that Scimitar Grand Mastery, and we're going to pump up her stealth and continue to do so for the next couple of levels, so that at some point she can be pretty reliable when it comes to hiding in shadows. Anyway, now off to the Bridge District we go. And also one thing that I would like to say, here we're just going to keep walking, because this second event might spawn. But anyway, when it comes to Kiranai, now that she's level 12, she entered the next bracket when it comes to the amount of experience that we're going to be able to get from unlocking locks and disarming traps. So actually, now that I'm realizing that had I noticed that she was so close to level 12, what I should have done, I think, and to be a little bit more optimal, like not that it matters in the grand scheme of things, but that's something that I could have done better, is that I could have actually done these quests, because they grant personalized experience. I could do these quests first, and then, once she was at level 12, for that increased experience from picking locks and disarming traps, and then we could do Mavar's second floor with all of these training locks and these traps to disarm, so that we could get a little bit more experience. And like I said, it doesn't really matter, but just you know, something that could have been done slightly better. Anyway, here I'm going to leave my party. Actually, Corgan is active and can come here, and maybe even a little backstab from Kiranai a little bit later. Basically, I'm leaving my party over here because the traders are in this room, and then someone else shows up. And I think if you leave your party here, for example, instead of initiating conversation with whomever is like in this room, I think he like somehow initiates the conversation with someone that's closest to his spawn point, I think, which is here. And that can mean that he's going to talk to someone with lower charisma, which then in turn is going to mean that we're not going to be able to like trick him a little bit. We want someone with high charisma, we want someone like Senashira to do this conversation. So anyway, let's come in. Here's Jalos and Kahan. So of course we can play along here and pretend that we are also shadow thieves that want to switch guilds. Yeah, you here to meet with the contact too? I was worried you were here to kill me. Keep your damn voices down. Like Jalos is the one with the brain, basically, and Kahan is going to slip up a couple of times in the conversation and provide us with some good info. Yeah, sorry Jalos. Stop using my name, damn it. Yeah, maybe there are shadow thieves, maybe there aren't. Alright, friend, and just who it is you think we are going to meet. And if your response is vague, like the contact, they are going to... Well, basically this conversation is always going to result in a fight. But we can play along a little better, I guess, and say, why? Don't you know? You're trying to pry information out of me? You a spy, huh? And I ain't no spy. And he's like, oh geez, they think we're spies, we're gonna die. Alright, everyone just calm down. And you can be like, you don't know the name, you don't know the name. Anyway, listen to your pal, friend, you are in big trouble. So yeah, it doesn't matter. But Kahan says, kill him before Grayson gets here and they'll never take us. Kahan, you are such an idiot. So from him we get the name of the contact, which is very useful. Alright, and here we can deal with them. Alright, we have to... I don't want to use any more resources on Senashira. I think we can just tank his backstabs. Use some ranged weapons, Corgan. Maybe not. Because of course his morale broke, Kahan's morale, and now he's just running away. It doesn't matter though. Let's finish him off. Let's have Corgan go away. So that the conversation is triggered with Senashira for sure. Oh, stop missing Senashira. Come on, I'm expecting more out of you. Alright. So here comes the guild contact. His name is going to be shown properly in a second. Anyway, you can heal up a little bit more. Yeah, he's going to go to the room and then initiate a conversation. Right. So apparently he could hear the fight from outside. What is going on here? Some of them are pretty funny. Nothing gravy, or like nothing Gracel. But if we, and now that we know his name, Grayson, we can actually play along and pretend that we are here and to join their guild. And he's going to say that your new berth is beneath the graveyard district, behind the bluestone doors. And whatever we say here, it's going to result in a fight, because these ones, if you use the conversation option number 2 or 3, he's going to figure out that we're not who we're supposed to be, and this one is what I'm going to use. That's all we needed to know. Now we shall feel the wrath of the Shadow Thieves. Anyway, it doesn't really matter if you can like trick him into thinking that, you know, at least for a moment, that you are the traitors, because he leaves a note on his corpse that you can get some info out of anyway. And here we're going to, I think, backstab him with Kiranai. Boom. Another 50 damage. And he's out. Alright. If I can stop misclicking. Yeah, we can get this note, 2 potions of invulnerability and a 2-handed sword +2. We're going to sell at some point. Very nice potions. And yeah, this contact's note. Note from LaSalle that we've already met, mentioning you know, their base, where it's located, also speaking about Paina and her spiders. So yeah, and also J-Loss and Kahan don't really have anything that's that great on them either. Oh, I can get this katana and sell it for a little bit of money. Alright, so now we can go and report back to Aran Linvail again. And the next mission we're not going to do until much later. Here we still might get... Alright. Yeah, now it is. This is the second encounter between the Shadow Thieves and vampires at night. You know this is the only choice. Be sensible. So they're trying to recruit these Shadow Thieves. You do paint a rather pretty picture, but I heard some nasty stuff about what happens to those that join. Rumors and hearsay. I am here before you as the proverbial horse's mouth. You may take what I say at my word, or you will end up like all the others will. See, there you go threatening. Though I suppose my own guild has threatened no less. I just don't know. You know. You just haven't said it out loud yet. But yeah, now they're going to tell the vampire to leave, and we're actually going to be fighting these Shadow Thieves. And here we're actually going to leave our guys, even Kiranai, back there. I'm just going to approach with Senashira and Corgan. I think here we should be able to tank their backstabs as well. Although I am going to be careful with like healing Senashira immediately. And Kiranai is actually going to add some damage from afar. Yeah, so heal already, Senashira. Alright, and not Jahira. Alright, easy. And now from this encounter, this is where you would get the scroll of Find Familiar. So if Senashira didn't pick up this spell when she dual-classed to a mage, we would get it right here, a little bit later. Some minor goodies. And the other thief is going to have a note, also disintegration. Yeah, this note from the other guild, you know, like trying to entice the members of the Shadow Thieves to switch allegiance. Alright, and now we can safely teleport. Now we're going to actually go... Let me just... Oh yeah, first we're going to report back to Aran Linvail, and then we're going to have some other stuff to do.
Without doubt. Yes? Quickly and precisely.
What have you to report of Jalos and Kahan?
Well, we prevented them from from switching their membership, I guess. Yeah, so the Graveyard District, now his next and last mission is going to be about actually hitting the enemies at their lair and actually assaulting them and getting rid of the whole guild. Also, apparently, Bodhi has made an attack this night. Yeah, he basically is going to say that we need to strike back. So yeah, now in this mission we are actually going to have some help from a mage and his golem to actually open up this door that was locked and unable to be opened before. But yeah, as I said, we're going to deal with this much later. This is a funny line, by the way. You have my best wishes, Senashira. I wish you well. Right, enough with the wishing. And we also got 4 wooden stakes for killing vampires permanently, and actually in the enhanced edition they actually stack.
What is it?
And there were also mods that enabled you to do that in classic Baldur's Gate 2. But anyway, now we're going to go to Waukeen's Promenade. We are going to quickly purchase a Glitter Dust scroll. Actually, what's your pickpocketing? 250 still. So let me rephrase that. We are going to obtain a Glitter Dust scroll for Edwin. And some other scrolls maybe while we're at it.
I don't usually speak to the likes of you, but
yeah, she has a Glitter Dust scroll. Those are pretty rare actually. Yeah, here it is. And what else could be handy for Edwin here? Without going like too hardcore about it. Oh yeah, Confusion. He needs some level 4 scrolls. Well, Sunfire is a level 5, but still is going to be useful for him. Oh yeah, Motion we can get for him. And I think he's probably set on everything else. I don't want to go too overboard, but improved invisibility is always useful to have. Let's just have one more. Alright, so that's it. And now we have a certain fight that I want to showcase. Well, what I really want to show is the unique conversation that happens if you have Corgan in the party. So here we go into the 7 Dales. And I'm actually going to make a little quick save here and dismiss Corgan first to present the conversation here that most people are probably familiar with when you don't have Corgan.
Back to the grind, eh? Are we off?
So he's going to go back to the Copper Coronet. Actually, a funny thing is that if we want to re-recruit him, he's going to want 500 gold to join you again. Alright, anyway, if we go inside here, a conversation with Menkar, Pebble Crusher, is going to occur, and he's going to be pretty, you know, confrontational. Also, there's going to be some banter between the different party members of this group. Smailov, called Smelly by this mage's familiar, imp, called Pookie. Smelly is threatening me again. You dare besmirch the honor of Smailov Orcslicer. Anyway, of course, this is the conversation, like I said, that probably most people are familiar with. And here you actually have the choice to, you know, be aggressive and engage in a fight right away, or you can actually de-escalate and go away without them going hostile. But now, if we quick load with Corgan, that's not going to be an option. And actually we're going to pre-buff a little bit.
Yes?
Senashira is going to pre-buff with Stone Skin and Shield. I'm probably not going to use a Potion of Invulnerability, because I think we're running a really good chance of getting dispelled. So I'm not going to use like super powerful buffs, I guess. Or, I mean, not super powerful, but, you know, more valuable buffs. We can also level up Edwin. So now he's going to have more spells that we're going to sort before resting. Also, when we're talking about him, you can buff up with some armor. We're going to use some spells now, because we're going to rest very soon. And we can actually take advantage of some of his summons. So let's do some monster summoning. See what else do you have here. Oh, even one more for the road. Is this an Ether Cap? That's very nice, because Ether Caps have a chance of poisoning opponents, and that might come in handy on the mage here. Alright, now we're going to buff up Edwin with some mirror images. And then Minor Globe, and that's going to be it, I think. Now, Kiranai and Senashira are going to go invisible. And only Corgan is going to enter the room. And Edwin is going to be back here. But
What is it?
we are going to first like enter with our invisible party members and position ourselves nicely near the mage here and his familiar. Also we can have these guys. We're going to get the Ether Cap. Maybe he's going to be able to poison the mage, and these ones are going to serve as distractions. So Edwin, you can go somewhere there, and Corgan is going to enter as the only visible guy. And now, as you can see, Menkar has a different conversation with Corgan, and as I've mentioned before, it seems like Corgan really has some trouble when it comes to staying in groups and, you know, like holding some friends, because apparently those are members that are acquainted with Corgan, and they actually call him a traitorous, backstabbing liar that double-crossed them at some point. Yeah, there's again another bit with Smelly and Pookie. Of course, as always, you know, feel free to pause and read everything for yourself. But yeah, there is no way to resolve this peacefully here if you have Corgan. This is always going to immediately result in them going hostile. Now, I think what we're going to do... Oh yeah, first let's present them. So we have Menkar Pebble Crusher, of course. Well, generally, when it comes to this group, I have to say that SCS buffs them quite significantly, and they can be a little trouble, like in the unmodded game when you want to do them right away after exiting Irenicus's dungeon, but they're generally like not that big of a deal. However, in SCS, you know, the casters are more efficient, the thief, and just basically everyone is just... This group cannot be underestimated because of the sheer amount of physical damage that they can dish out if you get a little unlucky. Because first we have Menkar Pebble Crusher, and he's a level 14 fighter with Grand Mastery and like Warhammers, many attacks per round, and he also has almost 200 hit points. I think he's around like 170. And he's a dwarf with 19 constitution, great saving throws and all that. And we're actually going to see what potions he uses here, because he also usually has access through SCS to some serious potions. And okay, next up is Smailov, and he's actually a half-orc fighter, level 10 I think, with a 20 strength actually, and he's wielding a cursed two-handed sword of Berserking, +3, the one that Commander Braig had basically in Baldur's Gate 1. So he has a good weapon, really good physical stats, and he can dish out some damage as well. Then we have Brennan Risling, and if you remember that name from Baldur's Gate 1, that was just a commoner once we got back to Baldur's Gate City after Candlekeep. There was this commoner called Brennan Risling talking about, you know, the incoming war between Baldur's Gate and Amn and all that. And here he is a level 14 thief that has a very notable item. And also he's going to, of course, want to surprise us with some serious backstabs. And also when he gets wounded, he is actually going to attempt to flee. He has a little conversation with Menkar saying basically like, screw this, I'm out, and he's going to attempt to flee. So hopefully we're going to be able to burst him down quickly enough so he doesn't escape. And then we have these two casters, Sorceress Amon, or Amon, who is I think a level 10 mage, or no, he's level 14, I think. Anyway, he has, of course, a nice repertoire of spells, and he has his familiar Pookie, which is actually basically a level 8 mage, because he's basically a mage with access to up to level 4 spells, so he can throw around some confusions and whatnot. He's not like a regular familiar, he's way more advanced, basically. So we're going to, of course, wait until they initiate their pre-buffs, but I think I'm going to have Senashira with her electricity damage try to interrupt Pookie, and everyone else is going to focus on Amon here. So let them get their pre-buffs. Right, Pookie is not getting his pre-buffs for some reason. Okay, Menkar Pebble Crusher has a Fire Giant Strength potion, which is okay, but fortunately it's not a potion of magic shielding, which he can sometimes have, which would make him automatically succeed with all of his saving throws. So, like, as if that's, you know, as if being a 19 Constitution dwarf not enough when it comes to his saving throws, he sometimes can have Potion of Magic Shielding. Anyway, Sorceress Ammon has Mirror Images, Stone Skin, Improved Invisibility, and Minor Globe. So let's just focus our attention on him. And I'm going to still wait with Senashira and see what's up. Also, Corgan is going to use his Rage. And okay, now we have Stone Skin and a Minor Globe on Pookie. So now we're going to attack with Senashira and see if we can interrupt his spell. Also, I am going to initiate Detecting Traps or Detecting Illusion on Kirinai so that we can dispel their improved invisibility, his mirror images and whatnot. And maybe even have the opportunity to get Brennan Riesling out of stealth to foil his attempt at backstabbing. And I think Corgan is going to come up here. Yeah, item cursed. You can see that Smailov now, you know, is going to get berserked shortly from that cursed sword, but Pookie apparently didn't get, I think, interrupted by this electricity damage. Yeah, he managed to cast a Ray of Enfeeblement on Corgan, but he managed to save, so that's very nice. Corgan is going to continue, I think, together with Senashira on Pookie. Okay, slow did hit on us, and it actually slowed basically everyone except Corgan, and this is really, really bad. Oh my god, this is a powerful debuff on all of our guys, and we don't have haste. We don't have anything. Okay, let's see what Edwin can do here. Oh, okay, Edwin actually has haste. I am going to throw haste in to counteract this slow, because now we're just absolutely useless, and this situation is super bad. Okay, Menkar dealt with our distractions, and Smailov already is dishing out some really cool damage on Corgan, I see. So Corgan needs some potions, and we need to use them. Oh, he used his Berserker Rage not too long ago. Alright, 72 damage, a critical backstab from Brennan Riesling on the Kirinai. So, oh no, don't you drink this bad potion. We are going to have better. So drink that. This is not going good, as you can see. It's not going well. I don't want to focus on Brennan Riesling right now. Keep detecting illusions, Kirinai. And everyone else, just keep attacking. You can go after Pookie, I guess. Can you heal? Okay. He healed. We also got hit by Glitter Dust, and some of us got blinded. Kirinai, Anomen. Alright. Also, what do we have here? Oil of Speed on Brennan Riesling. Okay, and Menkar actually does have his Magic Shielding Potion, so now he's going to automatically succeed in his saving throws, but now this haste from Edwin hit us, so we are not in such a dire situation anymore. Who's here? This is Kirinai. And yeah, their illusions were dispelled, I think, all. Yeah, so Amon doesn't have his improved invisibility and his mirror images anymore, so let's just try and destroy him. No, Corgan. You are still slowed. You are out of range of that haste. Alright, Corgan, you have to run. Now, Edwin is protected for a little bit against Menkar, but this is not going to last for a while. For too long, so we have to be quick. Now, Sorceress Amon, still uninjured. Yeah, Smailov can deal some damage, man. And unfortunately Corgan is... I think we're going to have to make Corgan invisible, actually. He's not going to be able to escape. Although maybe Senashira can take Smalov's attention. He's chasing Corgan. And Sorceress Ammon is casting something. Hopefully we can... Okay, he got through our...
What should I fetch now?
He got through Edwin's mirror images, so Edwin is surely going to go invisible. And... yeah, I think Corgan might have to go invisible as well. So let's try and... Okay, he can't use that yet.
Yes?
Right, we need to get rid of this mage. Okay, but he cast Remove Magic, which fortunately dispelled the slow on Corgan, which gives us a little bit of hope, but I think I am going to use that potion of invisibility still.
What is it?
Alright, Pookie is dead in the meantime, and we have to... Oh my god, Corgan... Just in time. Okay, maybe this Adder Cap can hold the attention of Smaelov for a second, and we really need to kill this mage right now, and I think we got through his stone skins, but he goes invisible. Let's detect illusion with Kirinai, and Menkar is now on us. Oh my god. Let's switch our attention onto Brennan Risling. Okay, our Adder Cap is gone, and our stone skin on Senashira is gone. I think we're going to need Edwin with something.
What is it?
Senashira needs to start healing.
Of course.
I think Ammon might have gone somewhere out of range of her detect illusion. She is blinded anyway, so she's not going to be too good in combat, but at least let's give her some melee weapons and get her attacking, and then... Oh yeah, Sorcerer's Ammon is right there, so we need to go and take him out of stealth, and in the meantime we're going to take care of Smaelov, who is not as hard to take down as Menkar, because Menkar has better armor class and he has way more hit points, whereas Smaelov only has like a hide armor and he doesn't have as many hit points. Unfortunately, Senashira doesn't have anything, and she has slow and she has glitter dust, but I want to have her rounds available for healing. I don't want to use a spell and then, you know, she's going to suffer a lot of damage and then not be able to heal, and I don't want her to die, of course. Let's just have this flame arrow to speed up the demise of Smaelov, I guess, and we have to get Senashira out of trouble. Alright, so Edwin was able to do a little bit of damage with that. Yeah, Senashira is taking heavy damage. We really need to take care of these guys. Oh my god. Senashira, run. Okay, Sorcerer's Ammon is way over there, which is really unfortunate.
Have you nothing else to do but bother me?
But we might be able to give Edwin a level 5 wand and maybe interrupt this guy.
What should I fetch
Yes,
now?
direct me as you will.
Yes. Monkey.
Okay, some nice damage on Sorceress Ammon, and he was actually interrupted. Let's have Senashira to finish him off. Also, I should have been healing with Corgan in the meantime. And let's have Corgan now help others to defeat Smaelov finally. He's near death. Alright, now it's only Menkar. We're going to use ranged weapons on Corgan, and we're going to use ranged weapons on Kirinai, which is not blinded anymore, so we can actually throw some daggers at Menkar. Let's get that going, and let's have Senashira defeat Sorceress Ammon here. Oh, he has another potion of invisibility. He is so annoying. Okay, let's get him out. Okay, illusion dispelled. Let's now get him with our Kensai ladies. Anoman is taking heavy damage from Menkar. Yeah, Menkar just has a lot of attacks per round. Alright, Sorcerer's Ammon is done. I'm going to heal up with Senashira a little bit more before we go into combat. Alright. Anoman needs to get out of there. And now we can get Senashira into the fight. And hopefully deal with Menkar. He takes such a beating. Oh, finally. This fight, it could have been over so much quicker, so much easier, but at least we got through it. So let's just quickly loot these guys. So here is the corpse of Brennan Risling. He has just some studded leather. He has a short sword +1, and most importantly,
Carry no more.
okay,
Beyond the
we
ground
are...
if you want it back.
Okay, we have this here, these scrolls that we can stash together. And now Kira and I is going to have some more space. And you can have some more space. Alright, the most important, like the most unique thing about Brandon Riesling is this ring of invisibility that will allow us to go invisible once per day, or once per rest. Here's Menkar, and Menkar has a full plate armor, so because we didn't go like too all out when it came to stealing, we can actually now appreciate this nice drop that we get from adventuring, a full plate mail, which is going to be a nice upgrade for Jaheira, 2 more armor class. Because, of course, you know, if we went hardcore on stealing, we could have gotten ourselves some full plates earlier, just stealing from vendors. Yeah, we have some death spell, and we have this cursed sword from Smailov. And Sorceress Ammon here has this cloak of non-detection, which its description is not entirely accurate. It protects you from detection while you're hidden in shadows, while you're in stealth, but not when you're invisible through like spells. And that would be completely broken. Actually, there are some mods, or if you just make that property yourself to this item, there are some mods that kind of, you know, quote-unquote fix it so that it would also give you non-detection while you're invisible. It actually completely breaks like SCS scripts of mages that will just keep trying to get you out of invisibility, but they of course won't be able to. It just completely breaks the game when it comes to the challenge aspect, I guess, and when it comes to gameplay balance. So this is actually cool that it only protects you while you're hidden in shadows, because, you know, this is going to be kind of useful for Kira and I. This is going to make sure that she's not going to be taken out of stealth when like going for a backstab, for example. And if a mage's like true sight ticks or something, she's not going to be taken from out of stealth so that she can actually get that backstab done. And I think we're going to give her the amulet of protection, and we're going to give that cloak to Anoman now. Also, there are some traps here. I think this one is trapped as well. Isn't it? Game? You're making a fool of me. I guess it isn't. But as you can see, now we get more experience for these tasks. And these chests are actually don't really contain anything that good. There's like 200 gold in that one, I think, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. All right. So after all of these these fights, or not these fights, but this one tough fight, our heroes deserve some rest, and we're going to actually do a scribing session, I think rest, and engage in some other adventures in the next episode. So for now, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time.